Each week, I'm joined by a top country star who stops by the studio to give me a hand counting down the hits. Along this week is Morgan Wallen. How are you?
What's going on, Lon? Good. How are you?
Good, man. I was just thinking that, as we sit here and chat, you had a busy weekend.
Yeah, we did. in a good, different way, though. Was down there at Neyland Stadium watching the Vols take down the Tide.
You and 110,000 people or something?
It was a good amount of people, man. It was something I'll never forget for sure. It's been a long time since
we're going to talk about that because you sat in an interesting suite.
I did,
with
yeah.
some folks.
Yeah, that was me, Kenny Chesney, Kelsea Ballerini. Peyton was in and out of there. There was all kinds of people in there, like Tennessee politicians and things like that. It was cool. I'm anyone who knows me knows how much I love this state, how much I love that school, and just how proud I am to represent that part of the world. So it was a good day for me.
Well, you're sporting you got the big T on here today.
Yeah, so. I might wear a T. I might wear something orange all week.
And then along with Tennessee football that we'll talk about as we get along, because that was just an amazing spectacle. And you just played down at in Arlington, big show.
Yeah.
A couple of CMA nominations for Male Vocalist and Entertainer of the Year.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, too.
It is very cool.
Yeah.
And that's what, in about 3 weeks from now.
Yeah, coming up quick.
Top 5 this week with U-Proof, and we'll talk about that and getting tossed around in the back of a Dodge.
Yeah, Dodge Charger.
Lots to do with Morgan Wallen as we get along. And we're counting them down here with Morgan Wallen this week. Current hit is U-Proof. Let's just chat a little bit about writing that song, just kind of, I guess, where it came from.
Yeah, I think we just wanted to get a song that had an interesting take. Obviously, I have a bunch of drinking songs. Everybody's got drinking songs, but then we wanted to get just a unique perspective of like, man, this drinking ain't working, kind of thing. It's we try everything, and the title U-Proof is just, I think it's pretty cool just to think about the way what that means. But yeah, we just wanted to just get that point across, like I've all this drinking and all these whatever, it just ain't working right now, and it ain't working no more. So, and I don't have the answer, but I'm trying.
I'm trying, but I know it ain't the move. Well, I love the line, but it doesn't do jack. I thought that was a clever little
little homage back to it. Yeah.
I know, I like that. The video is pretty interesting. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Right now, it's our co-host Morgan Wallen and U-Proof. We're counting down hits this week with Morgan Wallen, and of course, a lot of your friends have been in here recently talking about you, including Jake Owen. And here's what Jake had to say.
Morgan and I know each other really, really well, and I would call him a good buddy of mine. To see what he's doing now is incredible. Like you said, I'm playing a lot of festivals this summer. I'm opening for Morgan, so which is so cool. Right. I mean, I think it's great. And obviously, he's been through a lot, and I called him through all that, and as a lot of people did. And I'm proud of him right now. I know that I quit drinking last year, and I know he did as well. It's just good to see guys like taking care of themselves, and it's important to uphold that, our responsibility out there too. So anyways, I'm proud of him, and I'm proud of what he's done, and sharing as a label friend of his and label mate. He's been an awesome addition.
Yeah, Jake's a good dude, man. I think he's all the way completely off the sauce. I'm not all the way off it, but I had to take a step back, to kind of get my priorities in gear. And it's people like Jake who took an interest in my life, who helped me, understand that that's something I needed to do. So there's a lot of people that I have to thank for a lot of things in my life, and Jake's one of them, so I appreciate that.
Up next is Dierks Bentley, and you played the Seven Peaks Festival in Colorado with him last month, and it's always on my calendar, but I've got this event I have to do every Labor Day weekend, so I can never make it. But this always sounds to me like one of the best and one of the most fun, and the setting, and
it's beautiful for sure. Yeah, it's tucked back. I can't even remember what the town was called up there in the mountains of Colorado, but it was beautiful, man. I like Colorado and that area of the country. I think if I didn't live in the South, I'd probably live there. But it was awesome, man. It was a good vibe. The weather was perfect. The people were happy. I mean, it was great.
You get a chance to. I know that time of year, especially, there's a lot going on in terms of concerts. You get a chance to spend any time out there fishing or anything, or?
No, but I not fishing, but I got to play a couple rounds of golf out in that area, which I really enjoyed too. Yeah, it's beautiful. You can hit the ball a little further because you're up in the air like that.
I know, you feel like a man. I mean, getting out there those long drives because it's thin air, right?
Yeah, last year we went on a trip out there with me and a couple of my buddies, and we had a caddy, and he taught me a trick so when you're up there in the elevation, when you got your range finder, instead of putting it on yards, you can put it on meters, and you can just play like you can pretend like you're in yards on sea level, so you don't have to like think about it really. You can just hit what you normally would without having to do all that math or whatever. So that was cool.
That's really cool.
And it worked.
Up next is Kane Brown. Last time that you were here, you told us that he tried to sell you this orange Mustang.
Yeah, I should have bought it.
So he actually, when he came in here, he had it that day.
Yeah.
He had it, and he's got the customized hub centers, he's got the whole thing going on. Anyway, when he was here, we talked about that.
It's in the parking lot.
He didn't bite on it though.
Yeah, I told him he likes Tennessee, and I love the car, but I didn't like the orange. So I was like, because I'm a Georgia fan, so
Right.
I was like, bro, you got to come pick this car up, and he never did. So I bought it, and then now it's just so customized for me that I can't get rid of it. I just love it. The thing is my favorite car now.
I don't know how he can even drive an orange car like that and be a
it's
Dogs
orange.
fan. Oh, it definitely is. Whatever, it's a sick car. If his pride can let go and he can drive that thing, then good for him. But it is definitely a sick car for sure.
So you can't drive a red car?
I mean, I guess I could, but that's a little bit more universal than that orange.
Yeah, for sure. It was probably a sick car before he got a hold of it.
I think so, yeah.
Now it's...
I haven't seen it since he's done whatever aftermarket work he's done to it, but I'm sure he's done a good job. He knows what he's doing when it comes to cars.
Oh, he caned it up.
I'm sure.
Yeah, and I think that Mustang has a few extra ponies under that hood too.
I'd say so, yeah.
He did a good job on it. It's pretty neat that he has his wife singing with him on this song.
I love that, man. She sounds great. I'm happy for him, man. I know that's probably something. I know that's special for him to be able to do that. I think that probably means a lot to them. So I'm happy for them both.
We talked earlier about just a date or so left on the Dangerous tour. But as you look back now, as we're about to head in the holidays, reflect a little bit. Just look back on this year.
It's just mind blowing to me. I mean, it brings tears to my eyes just to think about all the lives that I've got to impact and all that I've got to touch from that close. How much it's changed my life. How much it's changed my son's life. How much just this year has been. We go and sure we've broken these records at these venues and we've done all these things. But that's not what when you come back, that's not really what you soak in, and you just think about I don't know, Salt Lake City, for example, where you don't know. I mean, I've barely played there, 5 years ago, and it ends up being the best show of the tour. Or you go to Pittsburgh and you don't really think about that as being a country music fanatic place, and we go and we shut the city down. There's people parking on the interstate to try to get to the show.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
So you think about stuff like that where I don't know, man. It's just really incredible that we got a chance to go, see all those places and do those kind of things in those places and make an impact. And I'm just thankful God put me here. I feel like it's where I'm supposed to be, and I'm just trying to figure out what I can do to make the world a better place, man. And hopefully, me playing my songs for an hour and a half or 2 hours every night in those places did a little bit of that.
We're fresh off you over at Neyland Stadium in Knoxville, Tennessee, after the Alabama-Tennessee football game, and at the start, you told me that Kelsea Ballerini was up in that suite with you guys.
Yeah, man. Kelsea is.
You get a chance to chat?
Yeah, she's a fellow Knoxville girl. Just to see that game, man, it was cool, especially from somebody else from Knoxville and with just good people around. It was good. It was a good day.
Got to go back to last June when you were part of a big stadium show with Eric Church in Minneapolis.
Yeah, I've had a lot of special nights. This is another one. We played US Bank Stadium up there in Minneapolis, and I played with Eric, and I opened and got to play. I mean, I've got to play an entire set basically. I think I played 90 minutes or something like that. So it wasn't really like I was opening. I think he might have played 2 hours. I don't know, but I think I told this story on stage when I was playing that show that night. But my first concert I ever went to was Eric Church, and it was in 2014 at Thompson Bowling Arena. And I don't know. I fell in love with his music. I'd already fallen in love with his music, but I just felt a genuine connection to what he was doing out there on that stage. I felt like I could feel like I could feel what he was feeling. You know, it just was something that I had never experienced before. I hadn't been to a lot of concerts, but that just really inspired me. That made me work harder to become who I am. That night, I never forgot that night. I never will forget that night. So I told, just 8 years later, not even 7.5 years later, I'm up here playing a show with them. It just really makes you happy, man. It makes you smile. It makes you makes you just realize it should let anyone else know who's out there that anything's possible. Like for real. A lot of people say that, but it really is. And
7.5 years from a seat in the Eric Church audience to
and not a good seat either.
Really, to playing it, not just a show but in a stadium.
Right.
I knew this song "Drink in My Hand" was a big hit, but I went up to Philadelphia to see a Chesney Stadium show, and Eric was there. And when he sang "Drink in My Hand," I realized it's not a hit; it's an anthem.
Yeah.
It's right there with the whiskey glasses.
Yeah, I say that's right. Yeah, it's a similar type deal.
Yeah, absolutely. People love it.
Yeah, they do.
Talked earlier about all the great shows you've done this year, and we talked about the stadium show you did with Eric Church up in Minneapolis in June. But a few weeks ago, headlined your own stadium tour, maybe harbinger of things to come for next year in Texas.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was just a overall really cool day. I got to have a lot of people I love there and a lot of people I cared about there. So that's always cool. It's always cool to have your first your first time headlining a stadium. I know we played them before, but this was ours. There was just a really cool energy the whole entire time. And when I got on stage, I just kind of cheesed like I was just smiling the whole time. And the fans were amazing. There was 45,000 something like that there, and when that was the record for that building, there was just a great energy overall in there, man. So I hope that's what's going to be happening next year too.
Well, it was really smart to do it in Texas. At least the first one.
There are a lot of people down there.
There are a lot of country fans, a lot of Morgan Wallen fans.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great. We're just, I guess, about 3 weeks or so away from the CMA Awards. You're nominated for Male Vocalist and Entertainer of the Year. First nomination as entertainer. Thoughts when you heard that news? I imagine your phone blew up when they announced it on TV that morning.
Yeah, I got quite a few responses. I just got a new number, so not as many as I probably would have gotten. But and I'm glad about that. But man, it's an honor, man. It's an honor. I think that award speaks more to my fans than it does speak to me. If I wasn't selling the tickets, if we weren't doing all these things, it wouldn't be a thing. Yeah. It doesn't matter how much I go give my all every single night. I'm gonna do that regardless. There ain't one night where I don't give it everything I got. So, but it wouldn't matter if there wasn't people there. So I think it speaks more to them than it does to me.
I'm talking about CMA Awards, and they take place on Wednesday, November 9th on ABC TV. And that's where our co-host Morgan Wallen is up for both Male Vocalist and Entertainer of the Year. Morgan Wallen's along as my co-host this week. We're talking a little bit about the UT-Alabama football game, and you're up in a suite with Kenny Chesney and Kelsea Ballerini, among other people. Peyton Manning was there. Did you chat with Peyton? And did the subject comes up about, because in a couple of weeks he's co-hosting with Luke Bryan the CMA Award show.
Yeah, me and Peyton have become pretty good friends over the past couple of years. So we talk a good amount. Just like every couple of weeks, we'll talk. Me and him and another one of my buddies in town. I talked to Peyton a little bit about hosting that with Luke, and I don't know. They're both pretty funny dudes, so I can imagine there's going to be they got something up their sleeve. I don't know what.
I'm sure. It's going to be interesting.
I know. I'm sure they'll throw a couple jabs at me. But I'm ready for them.
Has Peyton been out to any of your shows?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's came to a few of them, man. He came to the one we did in Denver. Then he was actually at Seven Peaks too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so he's came to a good number of them.
Got to talk about Mr. Aldean here a little bit because you dropped by his show here in Nashville.
Yeah, I did, man. Jason hit me up a couple weeks ago and told me he was playing here and he wanted me to come sing. And Jason's always been a good friend to me. He took me on one of my first big tours. He's always been a good friend in public and behind closed doors. So it was a no-brainer to go do that with him. I wanted to maybe sing one of his older songs that I really.
Which one would it have been?
I was wanting to sing The Truth, but he already does that with John Morgan, so I wasn't going to come in and say, I want to sing. You know, I'm actually a fan. I really like John Morgan too, so I'm glad they do that together. Water Tower is another one that I really like, and it's a deeper cut. You know, I don't think it's ever single or anything like that, so I figured it'd probably be better if we sang a couple popular songs. So I went with one of the songs that I co-wrote for him, and then when we did Whiskey Glasses, so it was cool.
Yeah, you did. You make it easy.
Yeah.
The hits always work.
That's kind of, especially when you're in a setting like that. It's pretty smart to stick to the big ones.
You were there, and then Miranda Lambert kind of dropped by as well.
Yeah. She went and sang before I did, but yeah, I got to see Miranda backstage for a little while. She's always a good time, and they're both still crushing. So it's good to see that.
Yeah, it is for sure. We're counting down the hits this week with Morgan Wallen. And listen, before we get too far, you were mentioning your little boy a few times. Yeah, we do have a guest in the studio
he's in
today.
Here somewhere. I don't know. He's probably tore up a bunch of stuff in there, or he's asleep. But he's in
That's
here
a life, right? Eat and sleep. And how old is he now?
He's 2.
2? Yeah. He's getting around pretty good. He was walking around and running around pretty good.
He loves to run, man. He's a runner for sure. Yeah, that boy runs everywhere he goes.
Isn't it life-changing when they're little babies? It's one thing, but when they become mobile, it's another.
Yeah, and he's starting, he ain't talking real good yet, so he's starting to kind of, he's starting to say a few letters, and like today when I picked him up from his mom, he almost said dad, and like purposely, like he's kind of said dad and stuff like, but it didn't feel like it was purposely. So like today, I could feel that. So
that's special, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It makes me feel better than anything else.
Do you feel like it's changed you at all?
Yeah, I think it's had to have,
Oh yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, it definitely has. I think, just knowing that I'm going to be such an important part of his life, and knowing how much that means to him, and I think it makes me think about things a little bit differently, and how much impact I'm going to have.
Yeah,
and that close to him. And
well, you're responsible for like another human being here.
Yeah,
for life,
no doubt. But I mean, my parents, they were so good to me and raised me so well. So I think I have a really good background, and I kind of think I know what I'm doing for a little bit,
But are you like, hurry up, get to be 5 so we can go fishing and do this and do this?
Yeah, sure. There's a part of me that wants to do that, but I know that day's coming.
Yeah.
So I just try to enjoy these ones as much as I can.
Oh, absolutely. You gotta, because you're right. Doesn't last long at all. Last time you were here, we talked about you playing high school baseball and all that, and making it to the state championship. But I saw that the coolest thing, we're watching TV this year, and saw a news story about you helping out some little leaguers here from Waverly, Tennessee. That was very cool.
Yeah, I've thank you. I don't know that little area of Middle Tennessee. I don't know why. I've just felt like a calling to do my part to help them.
Well, they got hit hard by a flood about a year ago. Really
and
devastating.
I think that's definitely what initially started it, and I guess that kind of made me have sort of a soft spot and have a feeling, just to keep in touch with them. I don't really know anybody from there or anything, but it's just like I just want to do my part, because I kind of stepped in at one point, so I'm just going to try to keep doing it. And I saw that actually Daisy, a girl on my team, she told me about the story, and I thought that was just a no-brainer, man. I've made a good amount of money to be able to do things like this. I don't know that there is a better feeling. It's nice to just, I don't know, just to know that I can do that, and then to do it. It's good, man. I think that's what it's about.
That's pretty cool stuff, though. That's really neat.
No doubt.
I want to talk about Jelly Roll a little bit, because I think when you were in here a year ago or so, we talked about you knowing him, and since then, a lot of the guys that are coming in here as my co-host have talked about knowing Jelly Roll. So that's been interesting to learn that from you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I know him through Ernest. I think Ernest has known him a good while. They're both, native to the Nashville area. And have gotten to know each other. I know Ern writes with him a good amount. I don't know if he does still, but he has before in the past. And yeah, man, Jelly's he's just always in a good mood. Want to make sure everybody has a good time. He's always really respectful. You just see how people treat people who not me. Not how I don't care how you treat me.
Right.
You're probably gonna be great to me. Most people are nice to me. So I see how people treat other people who may not have as much stature as me or as much success as me, and I see him treat them the same.
Yeah.
So that's what I look for when it comes to a man. So I'm glad to see him having success. He's talented. He's super talented on top of being that. So it's good to see good people winning.
A few weeks ago, Dylan Scott was in that very chair, and he was telling me about recording a song that you had a hand in writing for his latest album.
Amen to that. Another song. I didn't know who the writers were. The demo is Morgan singing, which is just
that alone would scare the heck out of you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean the dude's just super talented. But it was really right before Morgan really started blowing up, So I was like, man, that's such a cool song, And then Morgan was just blowing up doing his thing. But we've had this song on hold for a long time now, and so we finally released it a couple of weeks ago and was excited to. But just a really cool song. I just love the message behind it. I love the nuances in the song. Talking, it's called "Amen to That." It's like, hallelujah, praise the good Lord for giving me that woman I've been praying for. I just love all those little nuances.
Yeah,
in it.
yeah, man. I guess I don't even know when we wrote that song. Probably at least 3 years ago, maybe 4. I always liked the song too, and it even has some stuff about Tennessee in there, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe I ought to sing this, but I never did record it, but I'm glad that Dylan got it at home, man, because I do think it's a cool song, and I'm really glad to see it turn out the way it did. I like Dylan. He's always been nice. We've always had a good time whenever we end up in the same places together. So glad to see him having success, not only on the road but on the radio. And yeah, man. Thanks for recording that.
Up next is Bailey Zimmerman, and I have not met him yet, but you were telling me that you know him.
Yeah, man. I think that's, you're just asking me about people looking to you for advice and looking to you for, I don't know, insight. Mm-hmm. And this is a kid that I think that just with the way he's rising, the way he's blowing up, that he's someone who will probably need that. So I told him that I'll be that for him if he wants it. And it's cool just to see, just a little small town kid, kind of like myself, come and start making some noise in town and all around the country. So I'm proud of him. Looking forward to seeing what he does.
Morgan Wallen's my co-host this week. We've talked about you writing songs that other people have cut, but Keith Urban was in here not long ago as our co-host, and he talked about you writing his new single, Brown Eyes Baby.
I found that Morgan was a writer on it maybe the day after or thereabouts. He didn't sing the demo. I think Josh Thompson, who's one of the other 4 writers on the song, sang the demo. But it also made sense. It's a great song, and Morgan's a great songwriter. I was just thrilled that he didn't want to cut it.
Yeah, man. I just had gotten in the mode where I'd been writing so much and had so many songs, and there were certain songs where I don't know, I already had a song similar, or I just felt like I already had that vibe, or maybe this wasn't my vibe at all. I think me and Rodney kind of immediately thought of Keith Urban for whatever reason. It just kind of sounded like him, when we got done. So I think Rodney sent it over to him or somebody, but I had went into the room and we had been messing with something, and then I was like, you know what, man? People are always asking me why I sing about blue eyes so much. So I said, why don't we just write a song all about brown eyes? and we did. And then I didn't sing it, so I still got all blue eyes on still. But I tried.
Yeah, but having a Keith Urban single has got to be pretty cool.
It is cool, yeah, no doubt it is. Mm-hmm. But that one, they were like, Keith wants to cut this. I said, absolutely, So yeah. So
anytime.
I'm proud of that. I'm proud to see it doing well, and I'm just you're right. I never thought I'd be giving away songs ever. So.
Well, it's just outside the top 30 right now. And we got a little sneak peek for everybody, but I'm sure it'll be inside that top 30 real soon and climbing. Here's Keith Urban, his new single, that's Brown Eyes Baby. Morgan Wallen's my co-host this week. Current hit is You Proof. It's just ahead. First single from your next album, which is amazing to me because I think you could have gone about 3 years with singles from Dangerous, to tell the truth. So, and you mentioned new music a couple times. Exactly where are you in the process right now?
In the middle. I don't know exactly.
Do you have all the songs, just haven't recorded them yet, or you're still writing for it? Or
I definitely have enough songs. I still got a couple more things I think I probably want to say and want to write.
Yeah.
So hopefully get that done in the next month or two, and then I don't know exactly. I won't have the whole record done. I just mean get what I need to say done, and that written in the next month or two, and then just grind it out. So I don't know exactly, and they've got me on a timeline, but
Mm-hmm.
that don't mean I'm gonna follow it. To be fair, you do gotta put them out. You know,
I understand.
That does gotta happen.
Target date for the new music. Give me a season: fall, winter, spring.
It ain't gonna be before spring.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you that.
All right. Hey, there's no rush here. As I said, Dangerous is such that could live for another 3 years.
It's still
on its own.
going. I know.
But you have a lot to say.
Yeah.
That's my co-host Morgan Wallen at number 2 with You Proof. Got to talk about the video here. We talked about writing the song earlier. I'm going to assume you weren't really in the back of a Charger.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I was doing it.
Well, I mean, I thought it would have just been like they put a camera in a car and you were just throwing yourself around, but they weren't really driving through.
Yeah, they were driving. We were driving.
Seriously?
Through the street, yeah.
I'm going to assume it wasn't the woman in the video who was driving that.
Yeah, no.
Okay, because she was doing some outrageous stuff.
We had another blonde woman that came and drove. It was a lady who drove me though through there, and she was.
Oh, yeah?
She was a sick driver. Yeah.
Well,
We talked beforehand. She's like, let me know if you get scared or whatever. And I'm just like, all right. And she was slinging me around back there, and I'm like, and I thought it was fun. For whatever reason, I trusted this lady.
Oh, man.
It was her job, it was her job to drive, but
I'm watching the video go, but man, I hope he didn't have breakfast this morning.
I did not. I did not.
That was really good. Now, at one point, they're driving down the road, and you said, okay, I've had enough, and you bail out of the car. I'm going to assume that wasn't you.
Yeah, they wouldn't let me.
No, I wouldn't either.
I tried.
Not out of a moving car. What do you mean you tried?
I wanted to do it, but they were like, we can't let you do that. I'm like, okay. All right, well, we won't do it.
Yeah, absolutely not. I'm not letting you jump out of a moving car.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We've been counting down with Morgan Wallen. Dangerous Tour really wrapped up. Talked about a couple of things, and you're shutting it down, but holidays coming up.
Holidays, hanging out with my little boy, try to get out in the deer stand as much as I can. Maybe I got about 8 or 9 days booked off to go duck hunting, and then working on this album.
And of course, CMA Awards take place November 9th, ABC TV. That's on your calendar. Probably one of the last official things you'll do this year, I guess.
Yeah, I think I am going to go to that one.
Yeah, I think you should. I'll see you there.
Right.
Best luck up for a male vocalist and the big one, Entertainer of the Year.
Yes, sir.
Of course, the current hit is You Proof. Best luck with that. And always, man, thank you for coming in, spend some time. I always love chatting.
Thank you, same. I enjoy it.